They've called him racist, sexist, but they've never called Doug Casey wrong. Find out why at incorrectbook.com.
We have Bernie and Sid here. They are the new stars of WABC Radio in New York City, but you can listen to them on WABC.com. They do a morning program. They replaced Imus, and they're doing very well. Now, I don't know whether you guys knew this, but in New York City, where we are right now, where you broadcast from, 37% of the residents are foreign-born.
Yeah.
3 million out of the 8 million are foreigners here. Mm-hmm. There are more foreign-born people in New York City than the entire city of Chicago.
Wow.
Okay?
Interesting.
Okay. So you're talking to an audience, a vast audience, all right, of immigrants. Immigrants. And these are foreign nationals born abroad. We're not even counting their kids who are first generation. So when you get calls on this subject, do you guys hear any solutions to it other than put the guard and the military down there? Any solutions?
Well, that's what you hear. You hear military. Put them down there, stop them at any cost. You can't allow them through. The last caravan was successful. If this is successful, it will just breed more caravans coming up. There's already a third one starting up. So that's what you get, is you got to stop them.
You don't get any left-wing intrusion?
No, look, we tend to have a very conservative audience anyway. That's WABC. And Bernie's a big Trump supporter, and quite frankly, so am I. So we don't really get a heck of a lot of liberals, but we get a couple every now and then. And what they say now basically is they put the onus on Mexico, right? Just like Canada. Mexico has got to stop them. They got to keep them for a while. You need to be in one other country before you get here. If Mexico is not willing to do that, then, by the way, the president has the opportunity to come down hard on Mexico. So many liberals will tell us that's the real solution, not military, because if, God forbid, some woman or child gets shot, then we got a whole other disaster on our hands, especially with President Trump. So put the onus on Mexico. Let them take care of these people for a short time before they can enter the United States.
All right. But then Mexico's not going to, they're going to break it up just like they did the last time. Once they get to Mexico City in that area, you'll see the federales and the military go in.
You have to threaten to suspend diplomatic relations. You have to break up the new NAFTA treaty and maybe expel some diplomats.
That would hurt us, though. Trump is not going to, he's not going to throw the new NAFTA treaty overboard.
Put a bunch of barbed wire down at the border right now. We got a lot of time.
Pompeo's doing it now. Now, do you guys get callers who are foreign nationals? Do they see it a little bit differently? People who were born in Mexico or Central America?
Yes, we have, for example, the Robert from the chef from New York City this morning. He's an immigrant. He agrees that you can't come in. He came in here the right way, for example.
So he came in legally.
He came in legally, and they want these people to do the exact same thing. I mean, this is they're jumping the line. The people who came here legally who are immigrants realize exactly what we're saying, which is you can't have this. You can't have somebody breaking into your house, essentially, which is what they're doing.
Okay.
But we also get calls from people that say President Trump is a racist. He doesn't care about the downtrodden. This is how I got here. I've made a very good life for myself and my family in America, like the pizza guy, by the way, who got arrested. And they're blaming it on Donald Trump being insensitive. We get those calls, too, that he needs to find a way to let these people in because, for the most part, they're assets to our country.
Okay. Now, there are 1.2 million illegal immigrants living in the city, living in the 5 boroughs.
Illegals, yes.
Yeah, 1.2 million. And you know that this city gives away housing, food, you know, every entitlement that you can get. And they don't distinguish between legal immigrants and illegal immigrants. If you apply, you're going to get it if you're a poor person. Do you get any calls resenting that?
The resource depletion is tremendous, as you point out. And some people do make that point, of course. And then you had out in our neck of the woods in Freeport, you had a woman who was followed home at night, and she was raped on her front lawn for an hour. He knocked her unconscious. She woke up during this horrible, horrific event. He knocked her out again and continued. That man was an illegal immigrant from El Salvador. People know that, and they're worried that.
Well, you got MS-13 too.
MS-13
major,
as well. Can anybody
problem.
guarantee that none of these people marching up here are going to be like this guy?
Nobody knows
who came in here twice illegally.
I'm sorry. Jorge Ramos knows who they are. They're all the salt of the earth for Jorge. Have you heard in any of your research or in any of the WABC news briefs or anything like that one Democrat, whether it be de Blasio the mayor, Cuomo the governor, Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, New York State senator, one with a solution to this mass movement for asylum.
I've not heard one Democrat politician, Bill, have a solution to anything. Not just immigration, but anything. Because what they do today is basically attack Donald Trump. That's a solution. I mean, heck, you mentioned the attempted bombing here in New York City. It took the governor and the mayor 10 minutes to attribute that to the rhetoric coming from Donald Trump. So there are no solutions. It's Donald Trump's a bad guy. That's the bottom line. That's it.
In this case, their silence has been deafening. They're like the mute guy in Penn and Teller when it comes to this issue. Nobody is saying a damn thing. They're very timid, waiting to see which way the wind blows on this particular issue. The Democrats.
So you haven't heard any solution, because I haven't. And my crack staff is ready.
You said it best. They are praying and hoping to God that there's some awful tragedy that happens at the border, and that will destroy the midterms for the Republicans. They're hoping for death.
We should do a flyover, drop some leaflets, and tell them what a racist, horrible, sexist country we live in, and that we actually wear sombreros on Cinco de Mayo.
Right, don't come here.
Hey, listen,
the president's a Nazi.
He's a bad guy.
Drop the cover of Killing the SS.
That's where you're coming into.
You don't want to come here. We let them vote. We let rapists vote.
Final question. All three of us are New Yorkers, which is why we're so obnoxious. Did you ever, no matter what happens, no matter how bad things get on the left, no matter what they do, Kirsten Gillibrand is going to win the election for U.S. Senate.
Unbelievable.
Cuomo is going to win the governorship. No matter what happens. Why? What happened to New York? Why?
They see the D. You know, we actually had Shel Farley on the show yesterday. And she's got some real good solutions.
She's running against
Gillibrand.
Right.
And we've had Mark Molinaro on a ton. He's running against Cuomo. He actually has answers for the issues with the subway and other corruption issues.
The highest tax state in the nation.
Right.
They've got answers, but it doesn't matter. My own family, who, by the way, Jewish people, knowing full well that Gillibrand is one of the biggest anti-Semites in politics today. She's a friend of Linda Sarsour. My family sees D, Bill O'Reilly, they vote D.
Why?
They don't care what the issues are. Because that's what people in New York do.
All
They're
right,
conditioned.
so it's just tradition to do that?
Zombies.
That's it.
That's it. That's why de Blasio just walks in there with...
But de Blasio walks in with 26% of people voting.
Well, yes.
74% didn't even show up to vote for
That'll be the same for these races, too. That'll be the same.
A little higher.
A little higher, but for the most part, the same thing.
All right.
Democracy is dead in New York State. It's dead.
Yeah.
And L.A. and California as well. All right, check out the boys on WABC.com.
WABCRadio.com.
Oh, you got to put the radio in there. WABCRadio.com.
Yes, sir.
That's right. If you just go WABC.com, you'll get the pinheads on the television side.
That's right.
And you don't want that.
No, you don't want
You want WABC
You don't want Bill
Radio.
Witter and Liz Show.
those models right here.
All right. Thanks for coming in. We're going to let the guys escape.